Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and today I have another really special game I wanted to share with you. This game will be something completely different from what you're used to. This game is between two guys who play this game on chess.com, and what is interesting about this game is that it's one of those games where it's full of blunders, full of missed opportunities, missed checkmates, and of course missed threats from both sides. Maybe after watching this game you will see that you are not that bad as the players from this video, or maybe you will see that you are actually as bad as the players from this video. But the point of this video is just to have a laugh, have a good time, and take a break from serious games. So a game you will definitely love, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Also, if you have more fun games or you have some other games you would like me to cover on my channel, please, you can send me an email through my business mail you will see in the description, or you can always write a comment with the game you would like me to check, and I will definitely do it. I truly appreciate all of your support, and please let me know if you like this type of content on my channel. I truly appreciate you, and we will go straight into the game. So our today's game started with d4 and black replied with d5. As you can see, I left the player names anonymous intentionally because I don't want them to feel bad about themselves. They should continue to pursue chess and they should continue improving their game. And also in the brackets is their chess rating on the platform chess.com. So white continues with knight c3 and black replies with bishop f5, and right now white played e4, which is not a mistake, but it is not the best move. Probably the white's idea was to attack this bishop, but white probably overlooked the idea that black can take this pawn for free because white cannot recapture it since it is defended by this light squared bishop. And after that move, having all that in mind, black just plays e5. He simply does not care about the bishop. Who cares about the bishop? Bishop is for noobs. He can play without his bishop and he can beat white easily. Unfortunately, white sees this, that this bishop is free for taking, and he captures this bishop with e takes on f5, and black now continues with knight e7, inaccuracy by the computer. Not the worst move, not a mistake, but of course not the best because right now this pawn is also hanging as well. And white decided to take this pawn with d takes on e5, and black continues with knight takes on f5, taking this pawn. White continues the development of his pieces and he plays knight f3, and black now plays h6. Black was probably scared of this knight coming on g5 or this bishop maybe and pinning his queen, and white now continues with knight takes on d5. Computer sees this as an inaccuracy and recommends queen taking on d5 with the immediate threat of trading the queens. And after this move, black decided to play knight a6. Probably the black's idea was to protect this pawn here. Maybe he saw it that after some sort of moves this threat is still hanging, and that is the reason why knight a6 was played. I mean, I don't know this of course, but I'm just telling you that probably this was his idea. So white continues with bishop e2, normal developing move, and black responds with bishop e7, castle for white, and black now plays bishop g5 with the idea to trade these bishops. White accepts this and he plays knight takes on g5, h takes on g5, and right now white captures this pawn with bishop takes on g5. Obviously at first glance it seems like this bishop is free for taking, and in the game queen takes on g5 was played, but unfortunately for black, white has this idea which wasn't played, and probably white didn't see it, but after bishop takes on a6 and b takes on a6 there is a tactical attack with knight c7 check, and after king f8 we have knight takes on a8, and that is the reason why bishop g5 is actually a decent move and not a blunder as it first seems. But of course white didn't see all of that. I'm just showing you what could have happened and why this is marked as an inaccuracy by the computer and not as a blunder. So queen g5 was played, and after that move white just wanted to make this more complicated than it actually is, and he plays knight takes on c7 check. Of course this pawn was protected by this knight, and black saw that and he played knight takes on c7, which is a good move, and our game continued with queen d3, inaccuracy by the computer recommends c3, but this is not a mistake. And after this great move and this great capture by black, black now wants to involve his knight in the attack and he plays knight b5, which is another blunder here, guys. Obviously this knight is put on a really bad square that is protected by the queen and can be immediately taken without any consequences, but fortunately for black, white doesn't see that and he plays rook a to d1, which is a good idea, a normal idea to double your pieces on open file. And then there is some queen d7 threats, which is a really nice threat, and it is a decent move. Of course this is not the best move since this piece is free for taking. Black now saw that his knight was unprotected and he played a6, after which game continued with rook d2, probably with the idea to triple the rooks on the d file. After this move, black recognized that he can maybe create a checkmate threat and he plays knight h4. This move is unfortunately a blunder because white has a way to repel this attack and to threaten black's rook and black's knight. I will show you the sequence. Of course, white didn't see any of that, but I will show you how you can defend this position after this checkmate threat. So the first move is queen d7 check, and after king f8 you take this pawn here and you are attacking this rook. And for example, if black decides to play rook e8, we continue with f4, and right now in this position the best move for black recommended by the computer is to actually take this pawn on g2, and after queen takes on g2, knight takes on g2 and king takes on g2. And after this sequence white is obviously doing way better than the black. He has 3 pawns up, but at least white doesn't have any checkmate threats, at least for now. So this was the best sequence of white defending this, so that is the reason why knight h4 was blunder. Of course, after knight h4, you probably guessed it, white played something crazy and he played rook f to d1, unfortunately leaving this pawn and leaving this checkmate threat for free. And black actually sees that he can capture this pawn here, but he doesn't capture it with his queen, but he captures it with his knight. So probably in black's mind this is more scary right now. He can do some discover checks, and in his logic this is more scary than checkmate itself. So our game continued with queen d7 for white check, king f8 for black, queen takes on b7, and right now white protected himself from the checkmate threat. And you can see from the evaluation bar that this position is actually equal right now after this move. But black, since this rook is attacked, he wanted to attack this queen and he played rook a7, which is a huge blunder. As you can see, the evaluation bar just skyrocketed here and says there is a mate in 2, and truly there is a mate in 2 with rook d8 check. And after this move you simply take, and we finish with rook d8 checkmate. Of course, this is just showing what could have happened, and this didn't happen. I will show you right now. So after rook a7, white actually finds rook d8 check, and after queen takes on d8, you wouldn't believe what white actually played in this position. You wouldn't guess it. I couldn't guess it, and it's actually queen takes on b5. Queen takes on b5, and as you can see, evaluation bar just skyrocketed for black, in black's favor, because white just missed taking this queen and checkmating the black king. Unfortunately, he picked up this knight. White probably thought that he will be better after black takes his queen and he takes the black queen and he will take this rook. But unfortunately for white, black can actually counter this with queen takes on d1 check. And after you retake this queen, we simply take your queen, and we are a rook and a piece up, and this is a completely won position for black. So this is what white missed. He missed a checkmate and he missed all of this, but fortunately for him, black didn't see this at all. So after queen takes on b5, the game continued with queen g5 for black. Another blunder, and again there is a checkmate threat in 11 moves, of course, but white is again much better in this position. And after this horrible blunder, white finds the best move. He plays queen b8 check, king is forced to go on e7, and right now white finds another great move, which is queen takes on a7 check. Black finds the best move, which is king f8, and right now white plays rook d7, which is a horrible blunder. Again, black still has a checkmate threat, but fortunately for white, he doesn't see it and he plays king g8. Instead of that, there is a checkmate threat with knight e3, discover check, and right now the only move is bishop g4, queen takes on g4, the only free square is h1, and queen g2 is a checkmate. So this is a good lesson for all of you guys. So always create checkmate threats. There is a way your opponent can miss this idea or just simply forget that you had this threat and you can win the game. So always make sure you have a threat on the opponent's king, because in these sort of games and in grandmaster games, these things can be overlooked and your opponent can forget about your threat and you can win a game. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. So after rook d7, king g8 was played for black, and game continued with bishop d3. Again a blunder with the same idea, because right now black again has a checkmate with knight e3. But fortunately for white, black didn't see that, and black continues with knight f4. So black obviously saw that there is a discover check here, but he couldn't find the best move. King f1 is the best for white, and right now after capturing this pawn, this is a huge blunder. White finds a finishing move with queen a8 check, And right now the only left move for black is queen d8, and after queen takes on d8, white wins with a checkmate. And this was all for today's game, guys. And as you can see, guys, a lot of fun, a lot of blunders, and a lot of ups and downs in these sort of games. It is always fun to see that sometimes people even new to chess can see the right idea, but unfortunately they don't know how to execute it properly and they make a mistake. As you can see with this checkmate on g2, black actually saw that this square was unprotected, but he decided to take it with his knight instead of checkmating the white king. And also this idea here, so even in this sort of positions black had a way to checkmate the white king, but he didn't see it. White also made some horrible blunders, and he also didn't see a checkmate here on d8 with rook d8, and white actually finds amazing move rook d8, but after queen taking on d8 he forgot that he had another rook and he could have captured this piece and checkmated the black king. So always make sure you double check your pieces, double check your opponent's threats when playing these games. And by the way, I wanted to mention that this actually wasn't a blitz game. This game was played on 10 minutes each, so there was no need for any rush. When the game finished, black had 5:38 on the clock and white had 5:52, so there is really no point in rushing in openings or in mid game. It's better to take your time and be careful about your position, be careful about loose pieces on your opponent threats instead of losing the game really fast. And as you saw from the beginning, where black lost his bishop, he actually wasted like 20 seconds from the start of the game, so there is no reason to do that. You have 10 minutes, you have enough time to figure out what you're gonna do, to ask yourself what are your opponent's threats and the way you can protect your pieces and put them to safety, or the way you can develop your pieces safely. So this was all for today's game, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you like this series, please leave a comment, like and share, because there will be more of this. I really enjoy these sorts of videos, guys. It's one of those videos where they keep you tense until the end of this game. You just cannot believe what is happening on the board. Sometimes you want to scream from the top of your lungs, but it is all part of the chess. And if you like this game, you should keep improving, keep learning from your mistakes. If you're on chess.com, you have a review option. You can always review your games and see what you did wrong, so you can improve easily after each game. The one of the most important things in chess is to always pay attention on your opponent's threats, on your opponent's pieces. Never give up any free pieces if possible. Of course, these mistakes happen even to the best, but when you are new player to the game, you should always be aware of this rule. It will help you improve your rating significantly. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see each other in the next video. Bye bye.